Good evening, people. Okay, so I have no idea why my inner guide wanted me to make this video. I have no words. I just have to obey my inner commands that say, hey, look, this concept keeps popping into your head. Go talk about it. And it doesn't really speak those words, but when a word or term or symbol comes into my head and it keeps repeating the pattern, there's something significant to look into. And so that's why I'm bringing up this past COFeFe subject, is to correlate it to what I put together. Now, I don't know if anyone else, I'm sure there's other people out there that have already made this correlation to COFe2, which is COFeFe, and Trump's little tweet thing. It's got to be the reference to this carbon oxide, which is a nanoparticulate. But I like I said, I never followed this narrative, but, and I'm going to say that multiple times throughout this video, that I never was on this Trump train. I never was on any of this stuff. I don't believe in political jargon. I don't believe in politics at all. I believe that it's a bunch of noise and that it's a distraction, and that we need to turn our backs on all of these political leaders, and we need to take back control of our own governments. That needs to be given back to the people, or we need to go and just extract it from them, the power that we've allowed to happen. That's all been done by design, and that's not, a part of this video, but I couldn't express enough about why my inner self was just nagging me to speak about this COFeFe thing. So I'm making a video, and there's no other reason behind this except my inner guide said do it. So here it is, and it must be for someone else. It's not necessarily for myself, because I get all this stuff, and it really is not my interest to go to the surface level of things. But sometimes my inner guide says, no, you got to put this out there. So there must be someone that needs to receive this information. That's all I can say. Something came into my subconscious mind a few days back regarding that term that Trump had made up. And I said, you know what? There's a deeper meaning to that. And of course, as always, there is. And so COFeFe, that's how it's pronounced, COFeFe, like this, like the V doesn't exist. I think the V is in there just to divide the term, but it's actually COFe2, and it is a compound. Let me show you this, because this came to me. I'm like, that is actually alchemical formula. So look at what this is. COFe2, hybrid nanofibers for microwave absorption. And this was published in 2020 from the American Chemical Society. The abstract is that basically COFeFe, hybrid nanofibers, have been synthesized via a sample single spinneret electrospinning followed by a calcination and hydrogen thermal reduction process for microwave absorption. Electromagnetic and microwave absorption properties of COFeFe with different compositions are compared to those of pure COFeFe. The results reveal that the COFeFe with the COFe whatever molar ratio exhibits superior microwave absorption properties with a higher intensity and wider bandwidth at a smaller absorber thickness. An optimal reflection loss and effective absorption bandwidth are obtained for thin thickness. That's kind of oxymoron. A thin thickness of only 1.2 micromilligrams. I don't know, micro something. Moreover, the absorption band with RL values less than it. Anyway,
it's basically the nanofibers, and we know where they're putting the nanofibers. And but what is this thing with Trump, his context of all of this? What why did he create that term? Why did he make that noise? It had people confused. And I thought it was odd myself when he had first, I don't follow this stuff, when he had first tweeted it. I don't even have Twitter. Basically, he says, despite the constant negative press of, those hypodermic things, COFeFe. And I guess he's putting it out there that, COFeFe is still viable getting to the masses. I mean, I don't really know. I don't comprehend the context of what his reference truly is about. And I don't mean to get into a political debate. That's not the purpose of this. I really, truly just wanted to put the COFeFe information there because I didn't ever follow this. I had heard something briefly from some other people that said that Trump had made this tweet. And what my mind did was say, why that? And that's COFeFe, which is a double iron oxide kind of thing. It's a carbon iron oxide. And we already know what that is. It's the graphene oxide. So what does it all mean? I don't know, but there are some suspicions in regards to this man with his uncle John, being involved with Tesla. And then the book that was written in 1892, it was kind of implicating him and his son in the books. And then a character named Pence, that was all in that Ingersoll Lockwood book series of Little Baron Trump and his underground journey. And then the third book was The Last President, which also implied that, this would be the last president. And, I really don't get what's going on. I mean, he was bailed out of his casinos from the Rothschilds family, which means that he was in bed with them. But is this person and Putin double agents? Are they double agents? Are they working with someone else? Because we've heard during the Eisenhower years that Eisenhower was visited by otherworldly people on a couple of occasions. The first one's trying to convince them to leave their weapons and walk away, the weapons of mass destruction, which they did not do. And then we hear in the UFO community that another faction of beings came to Eisenhower. And then that's when they cut some deals with some basically high technology, and they started allowing people to be taken, but they were taking people anyway. It was just a ruse. What are we dealing with? That is the remaining common denominator on all levels. This person doesn't matter. Putin doesn't matter. I mean, it's us right now that have to merge as one and stop the bickering, stop the infighting, stop the accusations, stop everything attacking each other on all levels, and just leave people where they are. Don't try to convince anybody of anything. Each individual is on their own spiritual journey. They have to walk their own path. That includes me and everyone else around me. That I have to walk my own path. And discovery is something each of us is doing, and we're sharing. And that's the greatest thing that we can be doing right now, is sharing information, putting aside our differences and just working together to try to figure out this big puzzle that is amassed so large. I mean, we've got a lot of things to do, a lot of things, and it's going to rely heavily on our shoulders to take back the power, to stand in our individuality and our power, proudly helping each other, no matter what our differences may be. So please, I don't want to start any rants about this person or Putin or any of this political nonsense, because honestly, I see it as a grand distraction to keep us running around in circles. This is why I take the deep dives. This is why I want to go and uncover the occult knowledge in all of the hidden places. This is what I came here for, is to go above and beyond the surface and to see things with greater vision and to bring them forth into the light for others to consider. And that is all I want to do. So please, by all means, no fighting over this, no arguments, no accusations. I've had some people coming into the comment section, wanting to accuse me of this and that. And you don't even know me. You don't know what roads I've been down. I don't know what roads you've been down. Let's just share peaceably without pointing fingers and taking stabs. It's ridiculous. Don't attack people. It's not worth it. You're only attacking yourself, because life is a mirror. And if you haven't figured that out yet, that what you put out is what you get back, then it's time to learn. And you may have to go the very hard road to learn that lesson. But I've already done this. Yeah, I don't really know why my subconscious mind digs these things up, because this whole COFeFe thing was never on my radar. I also think that this political agenda with all these actors out here working for governments and double agents, and it's hard to keep up with who is honest and who isn't, and what's fake and what's real, because of all the deep fakes that they have. So I cannot explain how or why my subconscious mind or my higher self or God, whatever you want to call it, wanted me to investigate this COFeFe thing. I was just curious, because I was like, well, I suspect that has something to do with the particulates that are going inside people through food, through the air, and other means. And I pretty much have had that confirmed with this finding right here in this publication, that this COFeFe is, not good. Hybrid nanofibers for microwave absorption. It's for the interior of the body is what this is for. And it goes hand in hand with having the internet of things inside of each of us, which is what we know. There's the end goal for all of the elitists. They are not elite. They are thieves and demons. And they are principalities of darkness. They are black magicians. And they are trying to bring the darkness to our world, absolutely, and rule with darkness completely. Now, being into the esoteric sciences and the occult world of things, it is my sense, my innate sense, I should say, that they cannot rule absolutely. We will see some things and we will learn some things from this experience, but they will not win this battle. I mean, this battle happens time and time again. This is one of the things that I already comprehend. This is why all of the talking heads in the world are just a bunch of noise. And that goes for pretty much everyone, that's in political arenas. And there's a lot of agents in the spiritual arena right now that are actually working for the CIA, trying to steer the narrative and steer people's consciousness. The best thing that each of us can do is just go do our own investigations and try not to listen to too much talking heads, but to just dive in to any subject that you're interested in and keep digging. Don't stop with just one answer. Because as we know, they're whitewashing the internet.
And what used to be considered plagiarism is now absolutely everywhere because of the artificial intelligence machine that is just replicating news and information. If you go and you do a search, a web search for something, you'll find many articles with the same exact verbiage. Yeah, it's just, it's sickening what's happening. Artificial intelligence is taking over our lives in such a way that we don't even really recognize that these things are happening. And it's happening all around us, even in the skies. You know, they're spraying the skies with these nanoparticulates, and it's killing the trees. It's killing the ground biology. And all of the trees, you can go out in just about any part of nature and just look at the trees and look at the percentage of die-off that's there. And that's an indicator of where we are with this whole war. And when you can't see the sun anymore because they've been spraying the sky so heavily with these particulates, it's really sad, and it's affecting us in ways that we do not comprehend at this moment. But in the future, we will know. It's going to take a very long time to come back, to bring all of the nature back from these evil demons, because they are demons. There's demons inside of people right now that they are not aware of. And that goes for most people. And they affect us daily. And we need to be aware of these things and how we can actually take actions to remove these things. But we are absolutely under full-on assault. When does it end? I do not know. You know, none of us do, unless you have chronoscope, chronovisor, some sort of looking glass technology, something to peer into the future. That's the only way to really know. But the timelines are constantly changing, so they have to check in, I'm sure, quite often to see what the next timeline is actually going to be. And I do believe that there is a singularity moment that is coming. And as we get closer to 2030, I believe that is when all of these timelines and roads of information are going to merge. This goes for the UFO phenomenon. This goes for all of this political phenomenon. I'm not sure how far we will get into the world of woo with the political establishment and all of these people in high places with all this wealth monetarily. I'm not sure if we will break the ice on this black magic thing, you know, at that same time. But there are more people that are speaking out about the demons that are inside the government officials and things. At least we're getting to this level of awareness, but we have to keep going, and we have to share this information. We have to care for one another, and, you know, just accept people for who they are. Don't question them. You know, each of us, I don't know all this stuff, but each of us is on our own journey, and we just come here. Some of us do anyway. We just come here to share our findings like little children, so that it's like, hey, you know, look at my toys. Look at what I brought to the table. What kind of toys do you have? Let's share and let's look at them and examine them closely and figure out how they work. That's exactly what we are, people. We're no different. Just because we grew older and got bigger doesn't mean that we don't have that innate child inside each one of us. And some of them are running around as very traumatized children in adult bodies. And being a hypnotherapist, I have seen this time and time again, that there's so much trauma and so much abuse and pain residing inside people that they express this outwardly, and it affects them daily. You know, you don't know someone else's trauma. You don't know someone else's past. So, you know, stop the battle with each other. Stop the fighting. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's ludicrous, because the enemy is outside there and they want us to battle. So doing these little jabs and things, I just see it as so uncalled for. It's childish. Let's just stay focused, okay? We're all on this ship together, and each one of us is a crew member. And the only way this ship is going to sail is if we all work together as one. And that's all I have to say about that, because I care about people. Then go look at what Aquarians are about. Go look up Aquarius and look at what the description is. Aquarians are humanitarians. We want to save the world, and that includes everybody, even people that are nasty to us. But we have a big heart. We have a big place. We have a place in our hearts for everyone. Stop fighting. Stop making, comments that are not of some higher conscious nature, of an innately good nature, because it's not going to help. It doesn't help at all. It only shows outwardly where you are with your spirit. Anyway, I've been ranting enough about that. And so I'll leave this link to this Applied Nanomaterials ACS publications link in the description box so people can go and read this. I can't explain these things. I don't know. This stuff, it doesn't matter to me, but my subconscious is like, no, go look at this. And it just kept popping into my head. So when things pop in your head, you just have to go look. And sure enough, I mean, this is just confirmation of more of what I already knew, but I don't know, just follow your heart. Your inner wisdom and your inner compass is going to guide you in a direction for a reason. And you may not know that reason. Maybe I'm supposed to help one single person with this video and help them wake up and realize, something that maybe they needed. I don't know. I can't explain it, but, I just have to follow that interior compass, and everybody else does too. So you guys just stay safe, love each other. I love you guys. You guys are my family. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll see you on the next one.